Bola Vinaka everyone, my name is Tongois Mehta, my student ID is S11076598, my teaching subject major 1 is accounting and my date of recording is on the 30th, 10th, 2021. Our topic today is cost accounting. In this class, we will focus on the cost of production. At the end of this lesson, students should be able to understand and define the term cost of production. What is cost accounting? Cost accounting provides information to management on controlling the cost of producing the good or service which a business sells. A manufacturing enterprise produces goods for sale by processing raw materials in a factory. It buys goods and adds value to the goods so that the goods manufactured are sold. A manufacturing enterprise prepares a manufacturing statement to calculate cost of production. I want you to watch that movie to see how a manufacturing firm works. While watching, think of a direct material, direct labor, and factory overhead used in the production. Cost of production measures the cost of goods manufactured during the production period. Here you add your direct material with your direct labor and factory overhead. Direct costs are those costs that are readily traceable to the manufacture of a product. It is subdivided into direct material cost and direct labor cost. Direct material costs are the costs of those materials which are readily traceable to the manufacture of a product. For example, wood or timber is the direct material used in making furniture. Direct labor cost consists of the cost of labor directly involved in the production of the product. For instance, the direct labor used in making furniture includes the workers who use the wood, glue, and other materials to make that furniture. On the other hand, indirect costs are those costs that cannot be directly traced to the manufacture of a product. It is categorized as factory overhead cost. Indirect material costs are those costs that cannot be directly traced. Example, small inexpensive items like glue, nails, and masking tape. Indirect labor costs are the costs of labor indirectly involved in the production of a product. For instance, we have factory supervisors, factory security, or factory office staff. Factory overhead costs are also known as manufacturing overhead costs. This includes all the other costs apart from the direct material and direct labor costs in the manufacture of a product. Prime costs are all the direct costs which are direct labor and direct material involved in the manufacturing process. Formula: prime cost is equal to your direct material cost plus direct labor cost. Cost of production is equal to your direct material cost plus direct labor cost plus factory overhead. In other words, you can say cost of production is equal to your prime cost plus your factory overhead cost. This formula would be used in our next class when we prepare manufacturing statement. To summarize our class, cost of production, as you can see on the chart, is the total cost of goods manufactured during the production period. It is the sum of all your direct materials, direct labor, and factory overhead used in the production. You add your direct material with your direct labor and your factory overhead. As I've explained earlier, direct material are direct costs that are readily traceable to the manufacture of a product. For example, table. As you see a table, you can tell that it is made out of wood. So wood is the direct material for table. labor, students, are the cost of labor directly involved in the production of a product. For instance, the direct labor used in making a table includes workers who use the wood and other materials to actually make that table. Under factory overhead comes indirect materials, indirect labor, and your other manufacturing costs. Indirect materials, students, are costs that cannot be directly traced. For example, glue, nails, and masking tape. These materials are also used to make that table. Indirect labor, students, are costs of labor indirectly involved in the production of a product. For example, factory supervisors and factory cleaners. Other manufacturing costs, students, are all other costs apart from your indirect materials and your indirect labor in the manufacture of a product. For example, you have your factory light and power, your factory depreciation, your factory insurance, and your factory maintenance. Activity. I want you to do this activity and submit for marking before our next class. Number 1, define manufacturing enterprise. Number 2, define the term prime cost. Number 3, explain the term cost of production. Number 4, explain the difference between direct material cost and indirect material cost. Number 5, explain the difference between direct labor and indirect labor cost. Activity number 6, classify the following items into direct material cost, direct labor cost, or factory overhead cost. Part A, salaries of workers handling inventory in the production process. You classify whether it is a direct material cost, direct labor cost, or factory overhead cost. Part B, factory electricity. Part C, purchase of direct material and maintenance on machinery. E, freight inwards on direct materials. F, depreciation on plant. G, wages of factory supervisor. H, factory rent. And I, lubricating oil for machinery. You classify whether it is a direct material cost, a direct labor cost, or factory overhead cost. Thank you, students. Ensure that you finish all your activities and submit for marking before our next class. Also, make sure that you comment or share your views in the discussion forum. If you have any questions, students, you can always feel free to email me. Thank you once again, and you have a blessed day.